Hey everyone, Brayden here, coming to you with a breaking Disney news update where the day has finally come. Just moments ago, the first footage dropped online showing the Tron Lightcycle vehicles undergoing full-on ride testing in view of the guests through the outdoor portion of track at the Tron Lightcycle Run roller coaster in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Some very, very exciting stuff here. Many weeks back, Disney released a video on social media where Imagineers were talking about vehicle testing getting underway soon, how Disney would be gradually upping the speed of the cars to full speed, and how unique this vehicle testing period is, in that due to the ride configuration you have at this specific attraction, the testing will be happening in full view of the guests. You can actually see this all unfolding, all this work happening from inside the park. The first video to drop of these cars actually running through the outside portion of the attraction comes from DizQuick, who captured footage from the People Mover showing the train of light cycles flying through the outdoor portion of the attraction, where after loading you are immediately launched outside, where you fly underneath the Tron Coaster canopy we've been covering the construction of for years. And then following that brief high-speed outdoor portion, you head into the gravity building where the rest of the attraction unfolds. So exciting that we finally reached this milestone. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure some of you have seen and ridden this attraction out in Shanghai at Shanghai Disney before. I've never been out there. To me, it looks like these vehicles are going close to full speed here, out of the launch through the outdoor portion of the attraction here. Believe it or not, today when I woke up, I said, you know what, I want to make a Tron video today. And this morning I was going through the latest construction, putting it all together, what I was going to talk about. And I was thinking, there's definitely a lot to talk about here. There's stuff going on with the railroad tunnel and the canopy and all this stuff, which we'll take a look at in a second. But I was thinking, it'd be really good if we just had a little something extra to make it worth doing a Tron update video. And oh boy, did Disney come through on that. Tron Coaster vehicle testing is now underway here at the Magic Kingdom. So getting into the further news here at the Tron Coaster construction site, while those vehicles are now flying overhead, lots and lots of work is still continuing beneath the ride track on the infrastructure that'll service guests. We've got guest flyover pathways that have come together extremely quickly here over just the last 2 months. All sorts of walls of concrete that continue going in here. There's also that support building that's popped up next to Tron that might be for lockers. We'll have to see what's going on with that. First, taking a look at the most exciting progress at the Tron site besides the vehicle testing, work is so far along on the tunnel for the Walt Disney World Railroad that on the north end, roofing panels have begun installation. The concrete that makes up the walls on the railroad tunnel look to be just about complete. And sure, look at this place. There's definitely still a lot of stuff going on. It's definitely still an active construction site. There's dirt everywhere, lots still to do, but the rate at which this attraction is coming together, we can't be that far off from the railroad track finally being installed through this stretch, through the tunnel underneath Tron, once again completing the loop around the Magic Kingdom. And when that happens, with it, of course, we'll finally receive the long-awaited return of the Walt Disney World Railroad, which has been down a criminally long length of time. Taking a look at the Tron canopy, you can see just how far into installation we now are on the canopy. It looks like about 90% of it is in at this point. What that canopy actually is, the material they're putting in is a plastic material, which sort of looks like a trash bag when they first put it up. Quite frankly, it doesn't look super good, but what it actually is multiple plastic sheets, this proprietary material Disney's using, which are then inflated, and that's when it starts to look like the concept art that we've seen for a long time, and of course what we've seen out in Shanghai for years. So that's very, very good to see. Now, as we take a look at some more views of the construction site here, I want to talk about what we all want to know, which is, when is this attraction going to open? Late last year, I don't know what exactly happened, but a bunch of people all at once started saying Tron isn't opening till at least 2023. Tron's still a ways away, and based on the rate of work at the time, it's understandable why people would say this, right? Most of 2021, Disney really did not invest much into these projects as they were moving all sorts of monies around. Lots of cash was going into the build out of Disney Plus, which is still ongoing. They're still doing a lot of that. But for whatever reason, last year, Disney really wanted to keep capital expenditure low at the parks. And this might seem obvious to you. Of course they would. They were dealing with all these sorts of issues having to do with the events of the year before. But taking a look at other theme parks, they were taking the polar opposite approach. And on top of that, attendance and guest revenues were already well back on their way to previous all all-time highs, and by the end of last year, Disney was already reaching new record revenues at the Disney parks. Now, when fiscal year 2022 started, the capital expenditure attitude completely changed, and the rate of work at both the Guardians Coaster in Epcot and the Tron Coaster in the Magic Kingdom increased in a way that was noticeable to guests like myself who go to the parks and like to check out the construction. We saw more crews on site, visible at all times, more construction equipment around the area. We saw more deliveries that were taking place of materials for these attractions. Lots of activity we didn't see nearly as much of in 2020 and the first 3 quarters of 2021. Now here we are with Guardians officially opening next month. Cast member previews are getting underway right now, and I've been saying this entire year, I really think Tron could open this year. Tron could open in 2022, and I could be totally wrong on this prediction I have. Of course, there's the variable where we can't actually see the progress on the inside, how far along that is, but judging by the work that we can see on the outside and just how much has been done in such a short period of time with the flyover walkways, the progress on the canopy, as well as the construction of the railroad tunnel, I really do think Disney could get Tron open this year if they want to. And given how fast this is all coming together, how much money Disney's putting into this project right now, I think that shows that Disney does want to get this attraction open as soon as possible. The whole idea that Disney wants to delay it further on purpose into 2023 for some sort of financial reason, I don't see why they'd be putting this amount of money into it right now in spring of 2022 if they don't care and they're not even going to be opening it until spring of 2023. The work here is by no means slow played, and now we are seeing the Tron vehicles themselves that we'll be riding in hopefully not too long here, running at what looks to be full speed. And we're in mid-April right now. There's still a lot of 2022 left, so needless to say, I'm quite optimistic on this, and hopefully we'll see Tron open later this year. If, and it's a big if Tron opens this year, we'll probably be looking at quite late in the year, so if you have a fall trip, don't count on Tron being open or anything like that. I'm hoping for October 1st. That's definitely the first day that I would see Disney opening it if they were to open it this year, because the beginning of April is when Disney's new fiscal year starts, so any attendance and any additional revenues due to bookings caused by Tron opening, those will count in fiscal year 2023 on Disney's balance sheet. So Guardians will be the 2022 thing, Tron will be the 2023 thing, but fiscal year wise, Tron could open October, November, or December of this year. And it's not super common that we see an attraction at Walt Disney World open in November or December, but there still is a possibility, no doubt, taking a look at this latest work, that we will get Tron this year. I really, really hope it happens. But of course, I can't see into the crystal ball. We'll just have to see what happens here. Let me know your guys' thoughts on when we're going to see this open and what you think about the Tron vehicle testing here, which is just so awesome. If you enjoyed this breaking Disney news update, be sure to subscribe with those notifications on. Thank you so much for watching from the Mickey V's Magic Studio. This is Brayden. I'll talk to you soon. Have a magical day.